of it, says CNN. All of it.
Humanity is on thin ice, and that ice melting fast. That warning, courtesy of the United Nations Secretary General, made in tandem with a brand new United Nations report labeling the planet a ticking time bomb.
It is worse than we ever thought it was going to be, and the time is ticking in order to defuse this climate bomb.
The climate time bomb is ticking. That's according to the UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change's report.
There's no such thing as climate alarmism anymore. The time bomb is ticking.
The new UN report warns the climate time bomb is ticking and the world is running out of time to avoid catastrophe.
There's no such thing as climate alarmism anymore. Nothing you say can be too extreme. It doesn't matter. That's science. For the Chinese, it's just so easy. How do you win a war without fighting? By getting your adversary to kill himself. Well, how do you convince a strong, self-respecting, powerful country like ours that has ruled the world for 100 years to do that? Turns out it's pretty easy. You take a collection of dumb, desperate people in middle age, hoping to keep on to their stupid TV jobs. You add scripts and some hairspray, and they just repeat the lies for you. And then all the people in the countries are nodding, yeah, that's exactly right. We got to do that. Respect indigenous knowledge. Stop driving our cars. And the amazing thing, it's kind of working. So what exactly is the science behind all this? Well, on Substack, actual scientists now reside. A political scientist called Roger Pilkey did a deep dive on where these people got the idea that the world will end if temperatures jump 1.5 degrees Celsius. That's the globally accepted goal, according to the AP. Well, it turns out that globally accepted goal originated in a newspaper advertisement and a draft paper that was not even peer-reviewed. Now, it's in the Paris Climate Agreement. That's the power of marketing. But what's the point? Of course, what's the point of the marketing? It's to destroy one civilization to be supplanted by the next civilization. Unfortunately, we're the one being destroyed, or that is destroying itself. And no one at the UN, by the way, cares about the data, where it came from, because the real goal has nothing to do with the environment. Of course. Duh. Look at the pollution. If you cared about the environment, this is a tough time to live. But ever since Julian Huxley took over UNESCO in the 1940s, pushing Malthusianism, the idea that the world's overpopulated has been the dominant way of thinking for the people in charge, except with respect to their own families, they have as many kids as they want, but you're not allowed to. And that leads to moments like the one we saw a month ago, where the Harvard historian, Naomi Oreskes, wrote an op-ed in Scientific American entitled 8 billion people in the world is a crisis, not an achievement. Well, if you're one of those 8 billion, that seems like hostility. If some chick is writing a piece in a science magazine about how your existence is bad, that might make you nervous, right? It should. And it may explain why these people oppose nuclear energy, which seems like a solution, but they're against that too. So it's not really about carbon emissions, is it? It's about hurting people, specific people. They think there are too many people. And this view is very widespread. It's why the leaders of the Democratic Party are always in your face telling you to get an abortion. Hurry up and get an abortion. It'll help the GDP. It doesn't hurt, of course, that getting rid of fossil fuels would mean a lot of Democratic Party leaders will get a lot richer. Their donors certainly will, the ones in the renewable industry. It also means a ton of money for people with no skills at all, like Jen Granholm, who's now the energy secretary, who owned stock in these green energy companies while she was in office. It's so corrupt, it's unbelievable. And they're in your face. There's no such thing as climate alarmism. Shut up and accept it. This would explain why Joe Biden campaigned on ending fossil fuels and bringing about economic devastation for millions of Americans back in 2020.
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated and no more subsidies for either one of those. Any fossil fuel. No more subsidies for fossil fuel industry. No more drilling on federal lands. No more drilling, including offshore. No ability for the oil industry to continue to drill, period. But I want you to look in my eyes. I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil fuel, and I am not going to cooperate with it, okay?
Imagine living under the rule of people like that. Imagine living in a system where we, with a straight face, ask someone who's never had a real job in his entire life, who has no idea where electricity comes from, probably can't even change a light bulb at this point, about our energy policy. and then taking his answer seriously. And what do you get when you do that? And apparently we did. 81 million votes he got. More than Obama. Really? Shut up and accept it. Well, the result is now our strategic petroleum reserve, maybe the most valuable thing the United States government owns, is depleted. And Russia, which we say we hate, is now once again one of the most important energy suppliers in the world. Meanwhile, your energy prices went up at double the rate of inflation last year. So what are we looking at here? Well, there are people with economic agendas benefiting from solar panels and the wind farms that kill endangered species. And there are the illiterate cultists in academia who are just for this because they're for it. As if to prove that point, Greta Thunberg